Hi there, Christopher here. Another update on Chapter 4. We're now at Revision 4 after going through endless screens here. I think we're in a better place now. So let me briefly try to talk through this because there are some details in here in the last iteration. So up here, nothing's changed. This is just our default chapters page. First screen we see once we click through it is it sets the storyline for this chapter that you want to claim these Bitcoin. Then we lead into the lesson material with just standard text screen about that briefly explains about key pairs. Important here is that people understand that their private key is the key that they got assigned when they signed up. So that's an important thing here. Hopefully that's maybe something we should test for in user testing. Then next we go into challenge 1. This is where we give the intro to elliptic curve cryptography. And that's where things already start getting a little bit complicated, like this curve not being the actual curve, but being a simplification of it that's easier to visualize with the same mathematical rules. So we start having these links here in the text. And previously, I put notes down here as well, but previously links in the text, they launched tooltips with, just a very short one-line explainer. But since we want to have help pages now, these links now link out to help pages. So we might need to do a thing where we have these dotted underlines for tooltips and actual filled solid underlines for links. And so let's say, it just mentions that this curve is being used and, I just want to learn more. Then it would take me to this chapter or challenge specific help page. At the top, there's always a link to take me directly back to that page. We can figure out if this page is even a new screen or a new tab. Probably better that way. And then, we have these explainers here that discuss specific technical terms that are maybe mentioned and only explained with a few words, but where the learner might want to know more. And then there's other stuff like why do we do these specific type of operations, which is too complex to explain. It's just too long to explain in the page. But this is good stuff to know. It's like, is this just a random amount of type of steps that we do, or why were those chosen, right? It's not sometimes obvious from if you just go through the lessons. So that's where we start introducing these help pages as kind of an overflow with links and all kinds of stuff. And the other thing you'll see here is at the bottom. So in this tip section here, I don't have any content for that yet, but that's maybe something that the whole team can help come up with. So let's say people are stuck on certain steps and they just cannot figure it out on their own. These might be tips that point them in the right direction, but don't give it away. And then below that we have spoilers. So if there's like someone, a designer like me, who maybe just has no idea how to get to the solution, at some point before giving up, they can come here, they toggle this on, and then they see the actual code they just need to paste in. Not shaming anyone here, it's totally fine if we want a lot of people to have this experience. But anyway, so that's the help page, and it starts to kind of play an important role right away. Then we go into the actual first task here. So thanks, Matthew, for putting all of this stuff together. I have nothing to add here, really. This is all Matthew here. So I assume this all makes sense. As I mentioned just now, there's another Y link to the help page. And then in the result, we show the result here, which is pretty big with these X and Y coordinates. And then we have an evaluation text that always says, good job. This is what you did, and this is what we're going to do next. So it always leads you into the next task. Then we compress this public key. Same thing happens here. Result, evaluation. Actually, this text here needs to be a little bit tweaked. Then we have this lead out. This is like a summary of challenge 1. Just confirming that this is the compressed public key, why it's important. And then here's also a link to discrete log problem in the help page. And then we lead people into the next step, challenge 2. That's where they finally create their address. So pretty much exact same logic as the other ones. We have two parts again to this one. A few more links up here, like why this, like more background on why we pick this witness public key hash address and what it is, what this spec 32 is, mainnet, testnet, just simple explainers there. At the end of this, we end up with an address. And then we get to this screen here where the visual is not final and we don't have text yet. I think for now we can just use this visual, it's fine. And then we need to come up with some text that states that you're now providing this address to the mining pool, and then you kind of see the success is that you see the Bitcoin arriving in your wallet, right? That's what this image is also meant to convey. It needs to be better at that, but that's kind of the success that we want people to give after this chapter. Like, you create an address, you receive the Bitcoin, and then in the future, when people do this in real life outside of this game, then they hopefully create that connection and it feels great to them. So that's kind of it. Probably a lot of intricate stuff here that will come up during development, like what type of tips do we give people, what type of error messages we need to provide so people don't get stuck for too long or give up. But this is where we are right now. So thanks again for all your feedback. Please keep it coming and we can finalize everything.